Hey, everybody. My name is Chris, and I'm here with Jim McCormick, and we are here to have some fun in front of the holidays and as all the NFL teams come back from their bye week and get ready to smush each other into a fine paste. Hello, Jim McCormick.
Yo!
Nice to see you and your Philly accent in full effect. I can't believe it. I'm the one dressed like it's cold, and it's not. And you're the one who's dressed like it's summer there, and it's not. What's the temperature in Philadelphia tonight as we record this?
28.
Oh my God! See, that's why
fire upstairs. And
I mean, I lived my whole life through it, right? And then I got smart. I just don't even. I can't. I realize now I can't. I don't. I think I would break into a million pieces. I would cry. I'm already fairly impossible to deal with, but my God, if I were cold again, if I were on those freaking ESPN campus, walking between buildings, walking to the studios, some clever producer tells me, you know what, let's skip the walkway. Let's just go outside. It's faster. I would die.
Yeah, freezing. Yeah, it's bad. It's bad.
I'm not doing it. All right. So we are here to talk about week 15 in the NFL. I have learned my lesson, Jim, based on week 14. All right. So I don't know if it's happened yet this year. If it has, not very frequently. I actually beat you last week. I had a winning week at 7-5. I believe Dave Pyper is probably putting it up. The fact that you went, was it 5 and something?
5-8. Not very good. Yeah.
I think you're still far ahead, so you're still okay. I haven't looked at the season long totals. Dave's putting them up right now, but I won't watch this part. I quickly scan, fast forward. I don't want to know because it'll get in my head and I'll pick worse, which is almost impossible. But the funny part about last week, Jim and Dave laughing in our ears, is that what did we say when we saw the Detroit-Minnesota line? What did we say? What did we say?
Oh man, this is the hook. This is it. This is a hook. Let's do it. It's too easy.
Yeah, at least you didn't pick it for your best bet. I picked this line stinks, and you don't get a line that stinks every single week. But when you get them,
it's like a bit now. I think
Minnesota thing. You know them, man. You know when the line smells wrong. How are the Vikings like a significant underdog in this game? Vegas knows something we don't know. This is crazy. Did I lean right in? I mean, you picked Minnesota, but at least it wasn't your best bet. My best bet, the Minnesota Vikings. Embarrassing. I was wrong. My lesson learned. If I smell a line that's bad, it's no longer my best bet. You also didn't do so good with your best bet with those Tennessee Titans. So here we go. We have 16 games to discuss. The full thing, the whole Megillah, as they're want to say. What are your thoughts as you know now that 16 wins could be added to your season picking record?
Yeah, well, I mean, I just think like in conversations now with like close friends, I don't have to say per game anymore, which is nice.
Okay,
I can just speak in totals, which I like. My mom was really getting thrown off by that. There was like a plexiglass barrier between us.
Oh wow!
But yeah,
why is that?
She works at a bank.
Oh well,
it's not a prison thing. No.
Okay,
she's in prison.
All right.
But I think the thing is that I'm ready to go 8-8. Let's do it.
I'm ready to go 16-0. This is it. This is happening. I predict I'm gonna have a winning record by the end of the season. I really think that's happening. That mathematically might not be possible if I go like 54 and something, whatever. All right, so let's talk about Thursday.
It could happen.
Let's talk about Thursday night. The Thursday night game. I'm not picking it. I'm going to tell you right now, Jim. I nailed, I think, 6 lines this week. And you know my rule. How many do I give myself? How many no plays
2?
Do I give myself? It is 2. So I'm going to pick 4 games where I nailed the point spread, where I picked it just right. Sometimes when you pick the spread right, it kind of makes you feel like you get the league a little bit, and then you get Lions, Vikings, and you feel like literally your head is lodged in your anus. But that's neither here nor there. The Thursday night game, I'm not going to pick because I nailed this line. San Francisco is traveling to Seattle. They are a 3-point favorite on the road.
Yeah, I mean, Al Michaels is it's just incredible that this is still happening.
Wait, what?
I mean,
what's happening? That he's on TV?
Al Michaels just still out here babbling and taking Quaaludes and, it's just like, he's just like, there's football, and I bet 300 on Milwaukee. It's like there's no Milwaukee team. Seattle can get run on is the thing. They're like the 9th. They're like really not good. I have all these stats. Who cares? But the big thing is that people are making this argument that like Christian McCaffrey has like changed the identity of San Francisco's offense because they're number one in DVOA since they've acquired him.
Mm-hmm.
I think people need to realize that Trent Williams came back that week, and so did George Kittle.
Mm-hmm.
So that might just have a part of it. I am a little bit afraid of this Brock Purdy thing, but they have enough parts past that, and the total on this game is low. I just feel like it's a kicking game, and I'll take the better roster. I'm giving the points.
All right, I'm not betting it because I nailed it, but I want to say, our best bets stunk last week. But you know who down in the comments of last week's show whose bet didn't stink? Zeus ATP, who had these exact 49ers crushing the Buccaneers, which I believe you and I both did as well. But we didn't make it our best bet. Oh, you had Tampa?
No. Yeah, it was terrible.
Oh, yeah. I had the Niners. But I didn't make it my best bet, and Zeus ATP did, and we admire Zeus ATP very much. And we want to hear from you again down in the comments about admiring how much we admire you. And then next week, we'll talk about, you get it. It's like a nested doll thing. So we get to 3 Saturday games, Jim. 3 of them. 3 Saturday games. Island games, as you like to call them, because Chris has to sit there and watch all of them. Yeah. And he doesn't get to
Minnesota's
switch
an island.
Anything.
Yeah.
You're Viking. You're Minnesota Vikings, Jim. They are hosting the dead in the water Indianapolis Colts, and Kirk Cousins' pile of death rocks has been cut in half. His wife is actually now picking them up and throwing them in the garbage, like in his sleep, and then he gets up and goes, "Holy cow! I got less time left than I thought." But it's Matt Ryan's pile is already like inverted in the ground. So it's the Colts going to the Vikings. The Vikings are 4-point favorites.
If this game was based on which quarterback would put out better holiday appetizers, I'm taking Matt Ryan.
Wow,
no
really?
doubt. Yeah, I think Kirk Cousins is going to put out like strange like Costco puff pastries, and Matt Ryan's going to be like, no, I have it catered. Like there's crab.
That's a Philly thing. So, he's from Philly, so you're defending him. I think Matt Ryan would have like Doritos and Cheese Whiz.
Really? Because he kind of wants to be like a knockoff Peyton Manning, like where he dresses like in suits wherever he is, like kind of I don't know, like so. There's
a candid photo of Matt Ryan like on a construction crew in a 3-piece suit.
He golfs in suits. It's really off. It's strange, but this is like a bit I think where I can't read the Vikings.
Well,
with Vegas,
I think we could kind of read it. I mean, again, I thought
I get it now.
Yeah,
I get it now. Is that anybody can move the ball on them like at will? I just think what the Colts do well doesn't really it doesn't match that well. Like they can't pass that well, and that's the only thing. The Vikings, you can just pass on them at ease. Yeah. I think the Colts are terrible still, and I'm taking the Vikings.
I'm taking the Vikings too, but I'll tell you what, it's not my best bet. This doesn't smell as bad as Lions, but I said it at 6, so seeing it at 4, I was like, yeah, it's obvious that I'm missing something here. We didn't think they were a great 2-loss team. We don't think they're a great 3-loss team, but I think they're a playoff team. I don't think they're like garbage, and I think the Colts are garbage. Let's take a quick break and thank DraftKings because we've had fun this season on this show. I hope you have too. And it's all because of DraftKings. Without them, we would not have had a sponsor, and therefore we would not have done this show. If you are looking for a place where you want to play the games, you're coming up to this big weekend, and there's going to be holiday games after that, you can download that DraftKings Sportsbook app. They've got a fun promotion going where you can make a $5 bet straight up, no point spread, just pick the winner, pick the Chiefs over the Texans, which we'll get to, but you don't have to pick the spread, you can just pick the Chiefs. And if that $5 bet comes through, you get $150 in free bets on the DraftKings platform to play around with in future weeks. Eventually win enough and that money becomes yours. It's a pretty great deal. All we really ask is that you sign up using the code HarrisTube. That lets them know that you found them by watching this show, and then maybe next year they'll sponsor the show again. That would be great. We love DraftKings, and if you use that code HarrisTube, we would appreciate it. Make that $5 bet and win $150 in free bets, and thanks again to DraftKings. All right, so we have 2 more Saturday games to get to. The middle one, I don't know. Is that a big thing anymore? Do the Ravens and Browns still hate each other? I don't know. It just feels like who cares? I know Dave Piper's a Browns fan, but I don't care.
It's like when the Texans and Titans play. Like, does anybody remember that the one stole the other? No.
Yeah. I think I'm reaching now the point where all the Modell children it's the diaspora of models. They're all around the world and organizing art heists or something, and I don't care anymore. But anyway, the Ravens seem like they're probably maybe going to be a playoff team. They're at least in the hunt. They are going to Cleveland, and Cleveland is a 3-point favorite.
Yeah, this is like a Huntley line, obviously. It reads like one, right? Like, doesn't read like Lamar Jackson will be playing.
I almost wonder if it's an Anthony Brown line.
Right. Well, he's like Huntley's practicing this week, but
we're recording this. Full disclosure, we're recording this on Wednesday night. Who knows what the hell they did?
I had this at a pick.
I had it at a pick also.
I just thought I had trouble with this line because of the quarterback thing, and because this is going to be like a 13-10 game, and it's a kicking game. And let me get the best kicker, the weirdo, the smarter coach, and Jacoby Brissett isn't like he was giving the best advice, like homeowners insurance. He was reminding them to check their smoke detectors. Like
what's crazy about this is that I know what you're talking about, and like it takes 15 weeks of doing this before like we're just so in sync. What you mean? Let me do the McCormick to English translator.
Yeah.
You mean when Jacoby Brissett was the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns, all of the guys in the locker room really looked to him for advice, such as how to refinance your mortgage.
Yes, and he was like, "No, don't get the warranty on the stereo system." Like he was giving them the best, like he's like, "No," he's like, but and the guy was all getting enchanted by the Best Buy salesman, and he just told him like, "Cut that credit card up." So, I mean, in the end, Baltimore's the better football team. So I'm gonna go with Baltimore.
I said it at even. Also, there's a chance this line moves a lot. I think we probably know at this point that Lamar Jackson's not playing. Right. It does come down to whether Tyler Huntley can play, and probably the folks watching might have more information about that than us. But as of our recording this, it's a pick. It's a 3-point spread for Cleveland. It's a pick in our minds. Therefore, we're both on the Ravens, and we are going to take those points. I guess a good game. I mean, it feels like the Dolphins getting their doors blown off by the Niners last week. 2 weeks ago, right? That was 2 weeks ago.
You're right.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
This was right. Yeah.
And then not playing so well last week. Maybe removed some of the romanticism of going to the Buffalo cold and seeing if they can function in it. The line sure feels that way. I picked this line right at 7. So this is also a no play for. No, I'm going to play this one. I'm going to play this one. I'll just take the better team, even though giving 7 points and the Dolphins are not bad. I'll just set it up by saying I'll be on Buffalo, even though I did nail this line.
I had it Bills -6, so I'm just going to go the other way, just based on that. If you think about it, you're right, though. Just like think about the correction, and it's probably correct. But going from a 3-point favorite last week against the Chargers, now I know that's not like a terrible road trip to take, but I'm saying still on the road against a talented team, your favorites, 3.5-point favorites before the game, and now you're 7-point dogs. It's just like it's kind of like Minnesota finally getting checked too. Like,
what do you think this line would have been if this game had happened in Week 13? Miami going to a night game, a frigid, unbelievably cold Buffalo game.
Right. It would be 5.
I bet it would be like 4.
4. It'd be weird. It'd be Vegas zony, like 4.5, 5. Yeah.
But like you said,
I have no idea.
Yeah, that like you said, there's information that we now have that I mean, good luck if it's windy. That arm, I don't really believe in the arm.
Sometimes his deep ball looks like somebody just got a drone. You know what I mean? Like,
they don't know how to use it yet.
It's just like it goes high and it just sits there, and then everybody has to come back to get it. It's just So just he's got a big open space in Florida, so there's no trees. But Buffalo, he could break that drone. So.
Well, you're on the Dolphins, so good luck with that. Yeah. I'll take the Bills, even though again. All right, so now we go to Sunday and the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Oops, did I give that away, Jim? Oops. Did I?
At one point, that was true for like 4 months. So
no, it was true for a full year.
It was.
And but they sure look like the best team right now. They are going to Chicago. They are getting 9 points.
I mean, I can see why this isn't a bigger line. I had it at 10. Okay. So I'm taking the Eagles. I can see why it's not bigger, just because there's a lot of paths to like this being like honestly a blowout, and then one of those games where Field still puts up one of those like acceptable 2 touchdown, kind of like what Hurts did last year. Like one of those like 100 rushing yard, 150 passing yard weirdo great fantasy games. That said, the Bears defense gave up 30 points a game to the Jets and Packers. That's like they're just really a terrible defense, and so that's why I'm doing this.
Yeah. I nailed this line at 9. I'm also going to be on the Eagles because I can't not pick 5 games on the show. I think it's probably, well, obviously, since I set the line at 9, I think it's obviously pretty sharp.
Yeah, it is.
It's a one-man project to cause the Bears to cover. We all know it. Mm-hmm. It's Justin Fields. There are going to be a lot of people who are relying on Justin Fields for fantasy. And we're all going to suggest that you use him, but we're all also terrified that this is the game that the bells and whistles don't work. And if you trust any defensive line to stay disciplined and not get out of their lanes, it's probably Philly. They're pretty damn good. So I'm going to be on the Eagles here. And make no mistake, I'm not trying to tell anyone who has Justin Fields in fantasy not to use him. You probably just use him because he probably got you where you are. But it is not what you would want as a matchup. That is for sure. The Lions, who are, I just checked, great at football.
They're amazing.
They're unbelievable. They are traveling to the Jets, and somehow, if this were on a neutral field, the Lions would be favored, and that means Jared Goff is tremendous. And I've just being told by Dave Pyper that they're not tremendous at all, but the Jets are only a 1-point favorite at home.
Yeah.
Yeah,
dude. Yeah, I mean, this made me think stuff in my head, and then I was like, yeah, what do I say? I'm going to take the points with Detroit, the 1 point.
Wow.
Yeah, I know it's crazy, but
it is. It's wrong. I won't believe. I refuse it. It's not going to happen.
I know.
Stupid
I don't
Lions.
Them, but it's like week 15, and this offense just puts points up, and they're talented. And Jared Goff's not good, but he's in that kind of, I don't know, Washington Kirk Cousins phase where it's just he can support you. He can support an offense that's mid-level, like Jets Fitzpatrick caliber.
If I know anything about football, and I think we can both agree that I don't, then what I know is that Jared Goff cannot deal with pressure. That when he's on schedule, he's a wonderful quarterback. He's all set. He's great.
Yeah.
And when he gets pressure and gets off schedule, he's a freaking mess. And I wanted to use a word stronger than frickin'.
Yeah.
Jared Goff is a puddle. He's a little sponge full of doo-doo sweat.
I just wonder if Quentin Williams doesn't play. I'm kind of hedging on that, basically. Quentin Williams is a wrecker. So he's if Aaron Donald was out, it would change what you thought. That's not that he's him, but he's very important to them.
But what I'll say is just all I know about what the Jets will do is bring heat.
And win 13-10, right? Yeah.
But they're going to bring heat. They're not going to sit back.
No, right.
They're not going to play cover. The Patriots play cover. The Patriots are like, oh God, we're so scared of everybody all the time. We'll get to that.
Look, I put Detroit in bold, so I can't change it.
I'm not trying to talk you out of it. I'm trying to talk the listeners. I'm trying to talk the listeners into it. Wink, wink.
Got it.
Wink, wink. I think Goff gets exposed when he gets under. Do you at least agree that we're going to see some Jets blitzes?
Yeah, they're gonna send guys. That's what they do, and that's what that's also how they're built too. With
that's right.
have the coverage to be able to afford it.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm on the Jets here, and we may hear that game recur again. The Steelers, and can we just cancel the game? Steelers Panthers. There's no point in playing this game. All right, so let's move to the next one. Just kidding.
It's good.
Carolina is a 2.5-point favorite at home against Pittsburgh. I guess they were super impressive against Seattle last week. I don't understand it. This is the closest line to the smelly line to me this week.
Yes. Yeah. I had this also at a pick. I don't care who's playing quarterback for the Steelers, really.
Sure. They're all the same.
They're the same. They're just guys.
They stink.
Yeah, they're terrible. It's there's varying degrees of what do they spend on light beer. You know what I mean? It's
and meanwhile,
Kenny Pickett has an Amstel Light. Yeah.
And then meanwhile, Sam Darnold is like, "Hey guys, what's beer?" I don't know. Yeah. Is that a huge QB advantage having Sam Darnold?
He's been in moonshine camps for a couple months now, and he came out season. Yeah, it came out. His vision quest. It was a vision quest, and what he saw was J.J. Watt destroying him. T.J. Watt. But J.J.
Watt, yeah.
But that's the moonshine had him. You know what I mean?
So he thinks the young J.J. Watt is on the Steelers. I get it now.
Right, which chemically he might be. So
yeah. At least blood chemistry wise, a lot of similarity between those two brothers.
And
But we agree. We agree Steelers plus 2.5, and we agree that this line stinks. And therefore, we are making a pact halfway through the list of games that we are not going to make this our best bet, right, Jim?
Yeah, well, I can't just like. There's an eye test thing too. Like this, what's this Carolina thing? What's happening here?
I understand, but have we made a pact that we're not going to have this be our best bet?
Oh no, that's my best bet. No, I'm kidding. Okay, it's not.
All right. The biggest spread of the week: the Chiefs are traveling to Houston, where probably Chiefs fans will outnumber Texans fans at this point. Maybe. I don't know if that's true. It's not that they don't like their football down in Houston. They just don't like the Texans, and why would they? Yeah. You're on the Texans are in the Tim Tebow phase of their development where they're trying to find Tim Tebow. They think Jeff Driscoll is that guy, so they're going to rotate some quarterbacks. On the road, the Chiefs are a 14-point favorite.
I mean, whenever you can do like 1999 Steve Spurrier stuff, do it.
It works.
I had this at -16, Kansas City.
Did you say 1-5 or 1-6?
1-6. Just like last. I just was like, hey, last week's line. It's the same game basically.
Except the Texans easily covered that game, and I was on it.
No, I know. It's just that I think the Chiefs cover. I think there was a way that covered as well. I know, just like that was just a terrible series of events for Dallas. They were awful. They were in their way the whole time, but they still were the superior team. So
they were, but that's why the line is 14. I mean, this is again, if you're doing the DraftKings promotion, take the Chiefs to win. We all agree the Chiefs are going to win.
Right,
the question is Houston going to play the kind of game that they played against Dallas, which was very smart ball control, take advantage of a couple of mistakes, and then at the end they won't be enough. But the Cowboys needed a drive to win that game at the end. But I'm still on the Chiefs with you. I actually nailed this line at 14, but I'm not allowed to. Okay. I'm not allowed. So I'm on the Chiefs -14. The Who Dat game. Oh God, some of these rivalries are so tiresome. I'm sorry, Saints fans and Falcons fans. I know how much you hate each other. Just know that the rest of the nation, nay, the world, considers your rivalry unbelievably tiresome. And I'm part of the world. The Falcons are traveling to New Orleans. The Saints are 4.5-point favorites.
I have no idea if this Ritter guy's any good. No idea.
But I know you watched a lot of University of Cincinnati games.
All the time. All the time. I was just I was just watching Sauce Gardner. But I had this at Saints -3. I mean, look, Mariota was assistant to the regional manager, and Atlanta still held together a competent. We're one of the better rush offenses in the league. Now I get it, he's running too, but he wasn't dynamic. Like he just was like a guy, and I just think Ritter might be better. He might be worse, but I'm gonna give Coach Art the credit because I had it at -3. Like meaning
it's fine. You don't have to have a reason. This is a stupid game. We hate this game. This is dumb.
No, what I'm trying to say is he. There's a good chance that he's better than what Mariota was. Is what I'm trying to say. I just think there is.
Okay. But, that's accounted for in the spread. Like
it is.
The Saints are home, and they're probably on. Yeah. We're being told that at a neutral field, they're a field goal better, right? Which is probably fair. Let's not paint Andy Dalton as any great shakes either. I mean, they have wasted a year of Alvin Kamara. I mean, maybe he took the year to get healthy and not beat up guys in elevators. He's getting suspended next year. It is. These. I didn't want to think too much about this game. I'll also be on the Falcons. I said it at 4, so the fact that it's 4.5 does not outrage me. Mostly, I want to begin another game and not think about it any longer.
Yeah, that's bad.
The Cowboys are, I'm gonna say, not a Super Bowl contender. Probably that when push comes to shove, they'll probably lose a home game in the playoffs. Because I think Dak has a little bit. You know how a lot of the funny thing to say on Twitter now, he's got that dog in him. I'm old enough to remember a time when like being a dog meant you weren't good. And I think that's the kind of dog that Dak might have in him. I like him fine, but I worry there's some gack jobs in his future. But they're going to the Jags, who are great at football now. And everybody on Twitter has decided because of the last 4 games that Trevor Lawrence has finally, capital A, arrived. And they're conveniently forgetting 2 weeks ago, but whatever, man. The Cowboys are 4-point road favorites in Jacksonville.
Yeah, this one wasn't. You know what I mean? This wasn't that tough. I hate the Cowboys. Dak, that dog you're talking about is a little bit of Donovan McNabb. Oh, Donovan. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like every once in a while, bounce pass, interception. But yeah, the Jaguars, they're one of these volatile teams. They're volatile.
One of my favorite things you ever say is just Jaguars. I just love it.
Yeah, Jaguars. You know what I mean?
I don't know how often you listen to the fantasy podcast, Jim, but every single week when I do the Jaguars game film review, I go Jaguars, and it's you. I'm doing you.
Yeah, Murray. Yeah, Murray. Is there a Murray in this game?
Kyler Murray.
Yeah. Do you remember when that dude Murray got all that money from the Eagles? That was terrible. But the Dallas is going to score at will. So
yeah,
I mean,
I'm on the Cowboys.
I'm on the Cowboys.
I said it at 8. This is a contender.
I did 6. Wow. Okay. Yeah.
This is a contender. Wow. I don't think Jacksonville's good. I think this is
I don't think so either.
Yeah. Speaking of calamari, there is no calamari in this in all of Denver in this matchup because Kyler Murray got hurt on the 3rd play of the game. The Cardinals GM has stepped away because of health reasons. Cliff Kingsbury is going to be stepping away because his house is too big and he gets lost, but he's not going to be the coach too much longer, I think. I don't know. Do you suspect that the fact that he has an extension signed through 2017 is a reason to keep him on?
I think he's going to have an art gallery career. Did you see the Hard Knocks? The Hard Knocks when he had that huge lion and he goes, "I'm a Leo." That's a symbolism. That's the symbolism. I just was like, this guy literally is like, I bought this shoe because it's red and I love red and I'm passionate. And it's just like it's like Post Malone explaining the album. Like it's just like, what are we doing here?
Or the face tattoo.
Exactly.
So the Cardinals without Kyler Murray are going to Denver. The Broncos probably aren't going to have Russell Wilson, at least as of our recording this. That's my feeling, and that makes this game really boring. But the Broncos are 3-point favorites.
This is Colt McCoy versus Brett Ripien. It's like a battle of the Country Music Awards. Ripien has the looks, but Colt has the catalog.
I believe it's Rippin. I mean, he's not related to Mark Rippin, but you remember Mark Rippin.
I made him his son in my head. So
so you know how to say the name.
Yeah. Arizona is just meltdown Magoo right now. Like I can't wait to watch every Hard Knocks to see that like they're at the point where the Bluetooth doesn't like their Wi-Fi doesn't work. Like that team is just falling apart. Denver at least has the best unit in this game. Their defense. They generally show up every week. Like last week, of course, they're playing Kansas City. That was difficult, but it's still a good unit. Bradley Chubb wasn't that great, so it wasn't the biggest loss, and they're playing well, so I'm taking them. Yeah.
It's my other non-play. I said it at 3 points. It is 3 points. I gladly stay away from this poo fest. I like the idea that Kyler Murray has the Wi-Fi password. He changed it right before he got hurt, and now he's in the hospital. And they're like, should we go in? Should we talk to him? I mean, if we go in, we have to ask him about his like his
practice clause is the password, but he spelled clause wrong. He spelled it with like a W. So.
His car collection and what it was like. He has like 10 minutes on what it was like to film those Heisman commercials, and they're all like, well, we could get the password, but we'd have to go through that. So
nope.
I won't know what coach is asking, and that's fine.
Nope. I have to play 2 hours of video games to get that. So
no play for me. These stupid Patriots who beat those Cardinals. They are visiting Josh McDaniels, old friend Josh McDaniels. Oh, what a storyline. In Las Vegas, the Raiders are a 1-point underdog. The Patriots are road favorites. Guess what? That's really not a good line. That's a bad line.
No. Yeah. It's going to be weird when Devontae Adams has Tom Brady over for dinner next year. And you know that him and like Derek Carr's neighbors with Devontae Adams now. And he's doing Pilates, and they're just like, hey, we recognize each other. And then it's just a coup.
So you don't think you're thinking Brady in Vegas next year, huh?
It just matches like a guy who like a post-divorce run.
Yeah.
Speed
run.
Go and they probably have the type of medical assistance that he would like. So I mean, look, it's
I got that.
So I'm just gonna say that the Raiders have a good pass rush, and it's good enough that I think they should have a little respect at least.
I thought they were going to be 3-point favorites, to be honest.
So, I had it at minus 2 points over. I had it -1 Vegas, like a weirdo pick'em type game. Yeah. I'm taking Las Vegas.
Well, it is a weirdo pick. If it's a 1-point game, you're basically picking a winner. You just got to pick a winner. Here's my question: like, which of these teams, and I don't actually have an answer. You can answer this for me. Which of these two idiot organizations are likeliest to forget that they had a big dinner before they went out and poop them uniform pants?
It could be. I mean, I just think Josh McDaniels. Like everyone's talking about the Josh McDaniels, Bill Belichick thing. This is Josh McDaniels against all the other Patriots assistants. Like it's just him, like staring down Joe Judge, like like just like.
But which team is likelier to poop itself, like unbidden? Like nobody plays the Brown. Nobody plays the Brown.
The Raiders. The Raiders are more poopy. Yeah.
Really? See, I don't know about that.
They just gave up a 98-yard touchdown to Baker Mayfield, and Kyler Murray, like we talked about Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray like changed his controller in the middle of that one red zone play. So,
all right, maybe you're right about that. I think the Patriots are 7-6 right now because they've just run up against a series of teams that just would make mistakes. And they threw 73 screen passes against Arizona and waited for Cliff Kingsbury to not kick a field goal to go up 2 scores right before the half and instead go for it on 4th down and run like an option play with Colt McCoy. I mean, Arizona is unbelievably dumb. I'm actually kind of talking myself into a Denver pick, but I'll leave it off. I don't know if you can do that with Devontae Adams and Josh Jacobs on a team. I think they're going to score some points. So anyway, that's one on the Raiders. You are as well. All right, we're going to keep going. The Titans are traveling here to the city of Angels, the city I live in, lonely as I am. Together we cry.
It's. I mean, look, I think about heroin when I think about betting on the Titans. So.
Or the Chargers. The Chargers are 3-point favorites.
So, Tennessee's at a breaking point. Like, Vrabel is no longer accepting frat initiations. Like, there is...
Unbelievable.
Like, no, the class of 98 is in trouble. And I just, what is going on here? They've given up 71 points the last 2 weeks, the Titans.
Yeah.
That's bad. And we just talked about the Jaguars aren't that good. Jaguars, that's a bonus Jaguar. Didn't see it coming. But look, here's the thing too. I have a question. I'm taking the Chargers here, and I'm giving the points. I just think they're the better team. But here's my question though too. The Chargers, they looked really good last week. They looked like they knew what they were doing. At least Herbert, and they still only got 23 points. Like, is it the Joe Lombardi? Is Lombardi just constantly in the way? Like, what is this?
Maybe a little bit of that. Maybe Justin Herbert still is like toolsy, but not quite. I mean, there's always, like every other drive, there's a play that Herbert makes where you go, oh, if that had worked, that would have been like a 1% chance of working, but that would have been so
on the field.
Cool. But yeah, a lot of left stuff
Trick
on
shots.
The field. I set it at 4, so I'm not like outraged by the line, but yeah, I'm gonna also be on the Chargers.
Tough week. It's a tough week with these lines.
Well, I mean, we aren't doing good any week, so I don't know why we'd say this week is worse. All right, so now we go to Sunday night. It was supposed to be Patriots-Raiders in another humiliation post-Brady in New England. It is not. Instead, they're repeating a game that was on 2 weeks ago. The Giants are traveling to the Commanders, and despite the fact that the Giants covered in that game, and I had it, the Commanders are 4.5-point favorites.
They are. Now, we still have the Bengals game to do.
Oh, I screwed up. Yeah, okay, sorry.
Yeah,
all right, I'll go back to it.
The Giants' defensive tricks aren't working. I mean, who thought that Wink Martindale's magic show only lasted a few months?
Right.
But the reason is they don't have the corners anymore. Like, the corners are hurt. The idea before was send the house, and they actually had competent corner play. And now that they're all hurt, and I'm out of focus, this is good. Look, Washington is the better team. They're going to win. They really should have won the last game, the weird tie. They dominated like the actual game. 100 more yards, 20 more plays. They're just like the better version of these two teams, of these like choke you out. Like,
I want to believe you, but the Giants were awfully good to me 2 weeks ago in my very good week. For me, it actually comes down to the Washington defense and whether the Giants can do anything against that. Because I think if there's a defensive front that you don't want to face, whether you're blurry or in focus, it is the, sort of unexpectedly. I'm not saying they're the best, but like the team that could come into your stadium in a playoff game and accidentally cause you to score 7 points for the entire game. I feel like that Washington defensive front could be that. And that's my concern. Like, you didn't need to score a lot of points to hang with the Commanders offense last time. If you do this time, you're in trouble. But I think 4.5 is too much. So
it's a gross line. Yeah,
I'll be on the Giants. The game that I forgot, but now I'm going back and remembering. In theory, it's a good game, except for the Buccaneers People haven't caught up to the fact that the Buccaneers are terrible. And Brady isn't great, but it's not Brady, man. I watch those games, and I'm telling you, it's not Brady. It's a lot of other dysfunction. On the road, the Bengals are 3.5-point favorites in, I guess you would say, West Florida. West Florida. It's not South Florida. It's West Florida.
Central. Yeah. Like, just...
Gulf
this game's
Coast
a slog. Swampy. This game's a slog. But that's why I wanted to ask you, like, I've tried to go... You can't just go through the numbers. I've watched enough Tampa so that I should be able to answer this for myself. But, like, what is the problem? I mean, it's conservative offense. I know that.
Offensive line.
It's offensive line. So 4 out of 5 guys are gone, and so there it is. Yeah.
Full stop. Offensive line. Like, the defense is okay. They don't have Vea for this game. The defense is okay. It's not like I think the Bengals go down there and hang 40 on them. But offensive line is just a disaster for Tampa. And I feel like, as much crap as I give the Patriots, it's the same thing with the Patriots. They rely on these tackles, and the tackles aren't good. And then they try to replace them, and the replacements are worse. And there's only so much you can do. I mean, that Niner game last week was...
It was
fire
drill.
Barbecuing Tom Brady like he was on a skewer, for heaven's sake. I'm all over the Bengals here. I feel strongly. I set this line at 6, so I will gladly give the 3.5. And then we get to Monday night, and it's really a shame that we didn't get to flex out the Monday night game because, my goodness, we're all going to have to watch the go-nowhere Rams against the probably go-nowhere Packers. The Green Bay is favored by 7.
I think I heard some NFL Network type podcast thingy say that next year they're going to be able to flex Monday nights.
Yeah, that would be nice.
That'll be cool. The Rams are really bad. The Raiders are just sad boys. I mean, there's no reason that they won that game. I know this is a lot of points, but I really just think they're this bad.
Yeah,
like, I'll give the points. I don't want to. I just think the Baker thing. This line would be bigger if Baker didn't have that touchdown. I think it'd be.
Sure.
More than a touchdown. So,
but he did have the touchdown. So, like,
he did have a touchdown. But
in the alternate reality where you live, the line is 9, but here it's 7 because he proved that he could actually score a touchdown.
But he could score a touchdown against, like, quarters Raiders. Like,
okay, but I mean, it wasn't that. It was, the winning throw.
I guess what I'm trying to say is
the winning event. The winning throw. They Raiders played freaking blitzed and didn't play back. Right. They were man on man. It was insane defense, but it still proves your point.
Yeah, my point is that I still think this Rams team is just really bad and talentless. So
well, I mean, that's why it's 7. I nailed it at 7, but again, I can only pick 2. I've already picked my 2. I'll be on the Packers here too, but again, not feeling amazing about it. And now comes the point in the proceedings when you and I make our best bets, and that's how the audience knows that we will be wrong.
I mean, my grandfathers they're dead, but they're probably angry at me either way, what I'm saying. But I will say this, they're not going to be happy that I'm taking the Cowboys. They're just like, yeah, Jimmy, what's going on down there? Or up there, dude. I don't know where I am. Up there. What are you doing up there? Yeah, go Birds. Down there, my one grandfather who's down there, all he does is he has to watch Dallas beating the Eagles. It's terrible. I'm going to give the points here. Yeah, I just think that Justin Lawrence, Trevor Lawrence looking like that for 2 weeks is great, but again, that's one of those huge line shifters where it's not sticky to me that he's good right now. So.
No, and in fact, it's not 2 straight weeks that he's looked good. It's 2 out of the last 3 weeks he's looked good.
That's true.
And 4 out of the last 5, but 2 weeks ago he's back.
He's been good, but
he's been
not this revolution where they're competent now.
We'll see. I was very tempted to pick the Cowboys as my best bet, and I'm glad I didn't because then it would be guaranteed to be wrong. So instead, we'll curse the viewers with 2 wrong picks. I'm going to take those Jets. If you don't believe in the Jags, then I don't believe in the Lions who killed the Jags. So I will gladly give the 1 and watch as Jared Goff sinks into a puddle of Jared Goffness and gets blitzed on 75% of the snaps that count. I'm so sure that I'm right that I'm guaranteeing, this is my 100% locked in guarantee. If it's wrong, you don't have to watch next week's show.
The tiebreaker in that game is that Mike White and Jared Goff have a chess tournament. So we'll see.
See, the thing is, Mike White distracted by the White Lotus.
Yeah. Well, also he does look like he's played chess in the park before or sold weed in the park. So it's like.
See, now you say after I said a thing, and you say yes, and then you say something totally unrelated. I feels like you didn't hear what I said.
Well, that's like my brain works. It's like
okay.
It's not really on a track.
Anyway, you viewers out there, you loved the White Lotus joke. I know you did.
I haven't seen the White Lotus, so I couldn't pick up on it. I'm sorry.
I mean, yeah, I think Mike White is the guy who made it, right? I think that's the.
I don't know. That's my point. I couldn't go with it. I'm sorry.
It's a different Mike White. That's not the same guy. He's awfully busy to be an NFL quarterback.
Beavis and Butthead? Yeah. No, different guy. That's Mike Judge. Sorry.
Mike Judge, right? Or Jack White.
Right? Jack White. Yeah, again, the Detroit Lions offensive coordinator, Jack White. So
I got the guitar. Should I play Seven Nation Army? All right. That's going to do it. We're done. We had some fun. I hope you had some fun watching. Dave Pyper had some fun listening because he was laughing in our ear through much of the show. We hope that you'll follow us on Twitter. We hope that you will comment down in the comment area and let us know what your best bet of the week is with the lines as presented. They may move, obviously, between now and kickoff, but, we did our best. We picked them up as of when we recorded. We love you. We hope that you love this show, and we're going to see you next week. Bye. Thanks so much for watching. Please, please, please smash that like button, write a comment, tell us who else you'd like to see us review film on, and of course, best of all, please subscribe to our channel and then click that little bell above the subscribe button and you'll be notified whenever we post a new video.